and that was only because Camille forced him. She had been convinced something was severely wrong with him, even when Kathleen assured her over and over again that 5 years old was really quite young to tie shoes, to which Camille would respond, she was technically 4. And now, that once 4-year-old was tackling diabetes with the same focused determination. As Camille sat at the counter finishing her yogurt parfait, her throat swelled with sudden and unexpected emotion. It was similar to the feeling she got whenever she watched Taylor break away from a pack of runners, and yet different too, because this came without any sense of pride, as if Camille deserved credit for her daughter's speed. This was wholly removed from Camille altogether. She was a mother in awe. Taylor dialed her insulin pen. Her daughter was supposed to be on a bus, headed for the state track meet right now. Instead, she was giving herself pricks and shots in her kitchen. "You amaze me, you know that?" Camille said. Taylor looked up, her pucker smoothing away. It softened with surprise, as though she didn't actually know it at all. As though Camille had just told her, for the first time, that she loved her. As though Camille wasn't the type of mother to say things like that. But of course she was. She was generous with her hugs, even when Taylor didn't want them. She was generous with her I love yous, even when Taylor rarely said them back. Taylor knew how much Camille loved her. But did she know she believed in her? The question came like a slap. From the door bike to driving a car, and every other message in between, Camille's actions and concerns all said the same thing. "You can't do it, Taylor. I don't believe in you, Taylor." She needed to stop. She needed her children to know that she didn't just love them, she believed in them too. Because she did. Oh my goodness, she did. "The way you have handled all of this has been nothing short of astounding." A pink blush blossomed in Taylor's cheeks. She looked away, but not before Camille saw it. It wasn't embarrassment sparkling in her eyes. It was pleasure. She unscrewed the needle from her pen and put it inside the empty coffee canister on the counter. "I want to run on Monday." "What's that?" "In the 5K. I was supposed to do it with some friends. I think I still want to." Camille wanted to laugh. Her diagnosis was only 9 days old. They were just getting used to shots and pricks and carb counting. Running in a 5K 9 days after being hospitalized for hyperglycemia was downright irresponsible. It was the training wheels all over again. This was too soon. Taylor was going to fall, and this time she'd need more than 5 stitches. "The diabetes educator said that if I'm consistently below 200, exercise is good for me. My blood sugar's been below 200. Taylor zipped her insulin kit closed. "I'm still a runner, Mom. I don't want this to change that." "Slow down, Taylor. Slow down." "I want to at least try." It went against every one of Camille's motherly instincts to nod and say, "I'll give the diabetes educator a call. She'll probably want to talk to you first." Rashawn, "Finally got my behind to church and you nowhere. SMH, where you at, girl? And why Marcus look like he fixing to kill someone in the Lord's house?" Anaya, "I'm giving him space." Rashawn, "Why does he need space?" Anaya, "It's a long story." Rashawn, "I'll come pick you up. You can tell me about it over tacos." 66. The sun shone hot on Camille's back as she lifted another box from the bed of the truck and carried it over to a long fold-out table in front of Rick Malone's law office. Fleet Family Auto loaned them 4 trucks altogether, one for each of the 3 stations along the route, and another for the start and finish line. A team of volunteers had loaded the back of each one with boxes of color-filled bottles. Kathleen and Camille were supposed to set up the pink station. So far, there was no sign of Kathleen. It was just Camille and Neil, Austin, and Paige, who was smeared from head to toe in colored cornstarch, a medal hanging proudly around her neck. She skipped back and forth from the truck to the table with items she could carry, like wet wipes and paper towels, and sponsor signs and water guns and the first aid kit. This morning's kids' run had gone off without a hitch, with blasts of color and excited children making for excellent photo ops that would work perfectly for next year's advertisement. Paige loved every second of it. She especially loved the fact that her mother and her father had stood next to each other while they cheered her on. Camille barely had to do anything. Since Taylor's diagnosis, the Crystal Ridge Memorial Day 5K planning committee did such a good job picking up her slack, they made her obsolete. It was the same thing with the year-end carnival at O'Hare. Usually, this time of year, Camille spun 1,000 plates in the air. It turned out, those plates spun just fine without her. A screen door slammed shut. She turned around and saw Juanita Fine marching across her front lawn with a stack of orange cones. She started placing them around the periphery of her yard. Camille waved, overly cheerful, her typical response when it came to miserable people. They grumbled and frowned. She chirped and beamed. "Hello, Mrs. Fine. How are you doing today?" "I'll be better once this race is over and my lawn survives." "I think those cones should do the trick." Juanita harumphed. Neil grabbed the last box from the back of the truck. He was wearing a gray t-shirt and khaki cargo shorts, his forearms tan and well-defined. It made her think about CrossFit. It made her think about Jasmine Patry. Was she still in her husband's life? And if so, in what capacity? These were the questions she'd wanted to ask at least 100 times over the past 10 days, but every time she opened her mouth to ask one, the words